let us discuss a favorite topic of the religious set as well as the hoteperies. And of course, they come at it from completely different viewpoints, but those two groups of people talk about this one topic more than anybody else in the world. And that topic is monogamy. I want to explore it because I ran into rather this study that was talking about the very premise itself being flawed because of our study of it. Most of well, anyway, just kind of to sum up what this author was saying is that as a researcher, she has found that there are innate biases in other researchers when they do this study due to their religious influences or their own moral and family values. They've been taught that monogamy is the ideal. So it puts them in a place where they have an innate bias against really judging fairly any other lifestyle that isn't one that's in line with their own. That is typical when you run into white folks. I hate to say it, but that's the way it is. If it's not exactly like them, they have a hard time adjusting to the realities of other people, whether those people be other cultures, other races, other genders, whatever. They really struggle with acceptance. So I wasn't surprised when I read this. But what makes it interesting is that she pointed out, she was actually quoting some of the things that they were saying and how they come to the conclusions that monogamous relationships are somehow better. Well, of course, that's the conclusion you're going to always come to if that's where your mind is. You're going to see everything only through that lens. As a researcher, you have to go into every situation neutral and just look at the pros and cons, the benefits and risks of each situation, what works for people, why it works, what doesn't work, and why it doesn't. And you have to look at those things with open eyes without any kind of prejudices or assumptions on your own part. And evidently, what she's saying is her peers really struggle with doing that, and their biases come out in the comments that they make about people who are gay or people who are involved in polygamous relationships or in some other kind of situation that's not a one-on-one heterosexual, man and woman type of commitment. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, on the other hand, of course, we have people, brothers be busy promoting that polygamous relationship stuff. It's not enough men to go around, so you sisters need to share. And it's so few good brothers out here. You want a good brother, you gonna need to couple up with a couple of other honeys and share the dude. Y'all could live together. Blah blah. Okay, they really, then they want to hit you with what used to happen in Africa, ancient Egypt, and all this old stuff. Like they was alive and witnessed it themselves. But what ultimately happens is you have these people who are promoting multi-partner relationships of one sort or another. And then you have the other side, mostly women, who want to have a man all to themselves. They don't want to share, and they feel like they shouldn't have to. And if they do have to share, it causes them enough problem that they want to end the relationship. They'll call it cheating. So, I just want to, excuse me, put out a couple of questions. Okay, for the people who think that polygamous relationships are the way to go, why do they feel that way? Well, for the most part, it seems to be acquisition of as many pussy partners as possible for these men. They're not really thinking about the fact that they're going to have responsibility on a financial and emotional tip for all those women as well as any children born into those unions. They're not thinking about that. They just thinking about how many pussies they're going to have available to them on a regular basis. For the women, a lot of them have, succumbed to the frequent hear, they've frequently heard that this is the better way to live, it's a better lifestyle, it'll provide them with assistance at home and this kind of thing. So they see, the benefit in that regard. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, whatever works for you is what works for you. I mean, I'm just merely reporting on the issues. That's what I do. So then, though, if you have people who actually believe, see, this is where I run into the problem, because you have people who say they believe in monogamous relationships, but then they tip around and do stuff on the under. What is the difference? If you cheating on your man or woman and you over there fucking a bunch of different people, then why would you get angry if she does the same thing or he does the same thing? I mean, it's like you guys are already in that particular way. You kind of live in a polygamous relationship by default. It may not be what you say you have, but it is in fact what you exactly have. So when you keep looking at how people operate and live their lives, and a lot of times the women will know that their man is cheating and they stay anyway. The dude will know that the woman's cheating, he'll stay anyway. And so when you have a situation like that, why do you throw such a fuss about saying that you're in a polygamous relationship? See, I don't get that. That's what you have. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, that's what you have. So then we have people who you're like, well, I want a monogamous relationship, and I'm not going to accept anything but. And if my partner, steps outside the realm of that, then we're over. And I'm with you. The reason why I'm with you, when you have a relationship between two people, you know that I'm a fan, and I'm always promoting this. The two people involved are the only experts on how that relationship should be run. Everyone else may have opinions. They may have guidelines from their Bible or their Quran or their, some book they read, got it to the library. I mean, however they came to their conclusions. They're going to have an opinion, but that doesn't mean that their opinion is right for you. You have to make that determination. So you and your man work that out. And whatever works for you, I'm happy. So when someone agrees that this is how you guys are going to work your relationship, you're going to be monogamous. You're only going to, excuse me. Why am I coughing? You're only going to have sex with each other. Then that was the agreement. See, it's like a contract. That was the basis upon which the two of you got together. So if this one person decides to break the contract, then what's that? I mean, why did you do that? And then you have the nerve to get upset when a person wants to leave you. No, you broke the contract knowing that that was a risk that you were taking. You got caught, and now it's over. So don't say nothing. It's, that person has the right to leave. And some people are like, well, why is that a reason to break up? You really don't have to break up just because of that. That's true. You don't have to. Some people have found that having a fling was a trigger to get them to wake up and, work together on healing whatever was wrong in their relationship, because the cheating was a manifestation of the disease that was alive and well in their union. They recognize that they really want to stay and fight for their relationship, and so that's what they do. And so, have someone cheating doesn't necessarily have to mean that the couple breaks up. It usually does, and the reason why is because trust and respect are damaged. Now, in spite of everything, I talk about communication a lot, and how important that is in a relationship, for people to be able to openly and honestly and fully communicate issues. Even sometimes if feelings get a little hurt, it's important that the couple be honest about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they need, what needs are not being met. If they're tired, if they need something additional that particular day. I mean, nobody's a minder. You got to let your partner know. So if you start off your relationship being monogamous, but it ends up with someone, cheating, how does that work? I mean, our vision of a romantic relationship is that it involves just two people. So if one partner starts bringing in a third or a fourth and dipping and dabbing, do they not understand that the basic foundation for your relationship is being destroyed? The person that is with you is basing their love on trusting you and their respect for you. Your relationship has got to have a foundation of respect and trust. Everything else is gravy, but if you don't have those two things, you don't have anything, because the communication is built upon respect and trust. How you communicate is going to be based on respect. How you show love is going to be based on respect. How you argue with the person and disagree is going to be based on respect. How you listen to them, how you don't listen, the things that you say and don't say. All of those things are based on your respect in your partner and your trust that they really are the person that they say they are, and they're going to treat you the way that they said that they would. So when trust and respect are damaged, what happens? I mean, how do you be in a relationship, whether it's monogamous or polygamous, where those things are negatively influenced? See, I don't understand that, because even in a polygamous union, you have basic foundation. There's rules, but people keep breaking them, and then they feel like, well, I don't really want to break up my marriage. I don't want to break up my relationship. I want to stay. I want to stay with this person, and this is kind of a foundational discussion, because you guys know this webinar is coming up. And the choices that a lot of women make to stay in relationships or get involved with relationships with men that aren't really quite right, or who prove themselves to be wrong, is one of the core issues that I'm going to be talking about. So I'm kind of giving you some things to think about beforehand, so that you can get your mind right and maybe submit a question or two before the event. But I'm like, to me, part of the respect is like, you respect the person's work ethic, and you respect their values, and you respect their opinion, and you respect how they think, you respect how they act, you respect their friends, you respect their perspective on different things, their opinions or whatever. Maybe they're very intelligent, maybe they have, they're fabulously creative and artistic or something. Maybe they can just look at things and know how to fix it or build it. I mean, there's a lot of things to really admire and respect people about. But if those things are missing in your relationship, then why are you trying to hold on to it? I mean, you don't have to break up because the person cheated, certainly not. But does that cheating not represent a lack of respect and a lack of admiration for you? Why would you stay with someone who doesn't admire and respect you? That's the true issue here, not where he put his dick. So, we're looking at these different kinds of relationships. Like I said, you may have a de facto polygamous relationship, even though that's not really what you signed on for. How do you feel about that? What is the part that hurts? Is it the cheating, knowing that they're making love sounds and whatever with somebody else? Or is it the fact that you really feel lied to and disrespected? Dig deep into how you feel and make the choice that really works best for you. Because I don't really care. I'm not really a big fan of any of the stuff in that way. I'm not going to push it down anybody's throat. My job is to help you get what it is that you want, and by telling you how to do it. So whatever it is you want, that's up to you. It's not my choice. I just want to make sure that you make a healthy choice, and one that's not going to end up, like killing your spirit. And that's unfortunately what I keep seeing a lot of women doing, is they're over-sacrificing just to make sure that they have, this relationship. And I don't want you to do that. So, give that some thought. Is monogamy really what you want, or is it what you've told that you should want? Is that, our polygamous relationships? Some people come from, these different groups of Muslims, and that kind of thing is promoted. I mean, that's considered normal. Is that okay with you, or do you want something else? Really think about what works for you, and then put your comments in the comment section below. We'll talk later. Got another video coming up tomorrow. Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com signing out.